All right, so this one is for you, dear Aquarius. That's you over here. And this is Tarot Lumination with your general report for December 2017. You know the drill. We've done it before. No jumpers, no flyers, no oracles, no reversals. We're just going to keep it very simple like we do. Consistency with the spread, so everybody kind of knows where they stand. I like to think of it as a journey from the heart outwards, okay? And like we do, like the convention with tarot is you watch for your sun, moon, and rising, and you squish it all together and reinterpret and tell your own story, okay? It's your reading for you. I'm just giving you the Tarot Illumination spin on things, okay? So cards are already well shuffled in advance. We're just going to the last second so that you are a witness, okay? We're going to cut now. I'm going to keep it quite extreme because I really like to break up the cards, to break up clusters, okay? So here we go. This would be your energy at the very core, your heart. Okay, the beating heart, not the mind, not your, let's say, behaviors, just the pure pulsing heart, that limbic part of the self, okay, that lives on through anything and everything. This would be your legacy energy, okay, what you're bringing with you, historic energy, past life energy, or just the energy of the last month or the last week, whatever it is. It's like baggage or history. It's from there, and it's coming in here. This is the energy of the ever-present now. It's on the understanding with the laws of the universe, laws of attraction, that we're always in the now, so long as we choose to be. And yes, we do live in this phenomenon called time. So there is this thing we call the past and the future, but we're always, always in the now, and we're just moving through that, okay? So in that process of moving through that current of life, we make decisions, okay, as to what to do next. What's next? What's next? What's next, people? And that requires making decisions. If you want to outsource all your decisions to so-called life and just let it happen to you, great. Watch what happens then. Good luck. And then knowing that you're making decisions here, we're going to figure out how can you make decisions that are the most loving for you, okay? Love you first, because loving you first is what's best for everybody, okay? This is your heart, this is your soul, this is you and your life, and the best way to live your life is to love yourself and spread that, shine that love outwards. So this is how we make the decisions most effectively for your benefit, Aquarius. And over here, this would feel like, this is hopefully what you would expect or hope to learn or understand or come to you by making effective decisions, loving decisions. Otherwise, this would feel like fate, like, whoa, what was that? Where did that come from? Okay, and so over here is the energy of like realization. Oh my gosh, it really is all about decisions. What if I do this? Or what if I do that? What if it works? Oh yeah. What if it doesn't work? Oh no. And this would be the sort of momentum and the prospects. Over here, we're going to look at the circumstantial energy. I think of it as the weather, okay? And you're going to make the best of it like everybody. We say all this stuff at the beginning of each video because Tarot Illumination has to allow for first-timers and the regulars. Either way, we have to call it out, at least the basics. So you're going to make the best of the weather. Like everybody, you're not going to be a victim of the weather. What have you got? The Page of Cups. So it might be a time for you right now, Aquarius, where circumstantially, this might be a really good time for you to, like, say, admit that there's a lot to learn regarding love in its purest form. Not necessarily romantic. I'm not talking about relationships. This is just general broad energy, spirit energy, especially heart energy, right here from the core. Can you see that? Okay? Can you see this, Aquarius? Everybody knows that you have this reputation for being very cool and logical, which can create a sense of distance. But you have a beating, pulsing, loving heart just like anyone else, okay? And you have a right to that. You have a right to feel that and love that. You have a right to love and be loved. And you might just be coming to an awareness through this time period called, we call it December, which is in some ways very favorable for you because of the Gemini Sagittarius energies, even though there's some challenging energies going on too. And also with the Aries tail end of Libra thing as well. Those energies are all very supportive for you, Aquarius. And we talked about earlier, of course, watch your sun, moon, and rising. I forgot, or maybe I did say that. I don't know. But anyway, the point is that it's okay to be innocent. It's okay to realize that you do have a lot to learn. And so treat this as an epic new journey. This is a really great time for coming to a realization that, wow, love isn't necessarily what I thought it was. Love, from my perspective here as Tarot Illumination, is your reader, Aquarius. Love is as love does. Love is all about making conscious, deliberate decisions to extend oneself above and beyond one's existing comfort zone in order to nurture and foster the spiritual health and growth of healing for yourself and for your loved ones. Okay? That's it. Love is as love does. So let's have a look. Woo! Okay. Justice here at the core. In other words, maybe you've been expecting this. Maybe this is something that you've been expecting for quite some time and now it's happening. And it might be a little bit of a rude awakening. Like, wait a minute. I read all about this in books. I've even written books about this stuff. I've watched all the videos. I've gone all to the classes. I've got experience. I understand these things. Maybe intellectually you do. But maybe that at the core heart level, it's time for the real truth to come to the surface and everything's brought into balance, where you understand that it isn't just a concept or an intellectual exercise or a thing that we can like talk about in conversations. Justice is being served here. And so my feeling is that this is very tied to this very sweet, naive energy coming into existence, into stark reality in a way that's just. This is what's needed right now. It's very, very important for Aquarius to understand these like more liquid, like pulsing energies of love as opposed to the intellectual approach or the logical approach. And of course, Aquarius, you're one of those signs who's prone to giving it all away for the community as opposed to owning some of it for yourself. And maybe it's time for justice to be served, where it's time for you, by law, by decree, to receive love yourself, okay? To be on the receiving end. And that's where everybody gets stuck. Everybody loves to, it's relatively easy to give. It can be so hard to receive. And that's for everybody. It doesn't matter what your sign is or anything. It doesn't matter about the tarot or your astrology. We're just talking about simple, pure love, okay? Be loving, be loved. Okay, that's what we say here. Be loving, be loved. Be loved. That means you have to be ready, willing, and able to receive love. You have to feel that you are worthy, deserving, and open to receive. And now justice is being served. It's almost like the law has been established. Like that's not a sentence, but your administrative law judge has decided that it's time for you, Aquarius, to learn how to receive love. Thank you very much. Now go and do it. Okay. Yeah. All right. So what are you bringing in with you? Okay. So maybe you've been struggling with these things, these ideas, these concepts for quite a while. Maybe you have had all the best of intentions, and maybe you've been in many ways doing a really, really, really good job. It's just that there's more to do, and it leaves you flabbergasted because you might have been using all of your intellectual capacities just to get to where you are now, and then realizing there's so much more to do. And it's almost like, oh, wait a minute. Why didn't suddenly anybody tell me these things right at the beginning? Like, when you're born, why doesn't anybody just write out a guidebook for this stuff? So we can start, really early, but it doesn't really work that way. The way humans live and stuff, we're a lot of the times we're just figuring it out as we go along. And I feel that this is you and your energy of having had to do that. You might have had to struggle for, gosh, I mean, it could be years to get to this point where this card manifested like this, where it's now stark, like it's in your headlights, that it's time for you to learn and come to a deeper awareness of love. And it might also be very closely tied with this Leo North Node energy. I would urge you to go digging in the Tarot Illumination vaults and watch the North Node Leo playlist, okay? Because it's very, very important for you, Aquarius. We're already deep into the Leo North Node chapter, so it's a good idea to understand that it's really important to give yourself permission to like be the star, where you don't have to always be submerged in the community and friends and whatever, always just doing what's best for the community, with all the best of intentions. It's okay to become more aware of self and give yourself the things that you deserve, the love that you deserve, but that's by decision, allowing yourself to be appreciated and rewarded. It's not something that you have to fight for or go and get. It's something that needs to be received, and that needs to be to receive. We need to allow ourselves to receive. Let's have a look. What about the perpetual now? More wands. So it's almost like my feeling here is like if you're an Aquarius and you're watching this, and my feeling is it's like, oh, yeah, I get it. I get it. I know exactly what you're talking about, Tarot Illumination. Yeah, yeah, I really, really get it. Oh gosh, thanks for reminding me. I really want to get off and do that now. I'm really going to do it. I'm really, really going to do it. Okay. And it's almost to the point where what happens when people like come to this new awakening, this new discovery about how things really work. It's like they want to tell the world. Okay? And that would be perfectly appropriate for you, Aquarius. Like if you've discovered like how things really work, how the energy of love works, how the energy of making decisions is so critical in how our lives, manifest. And it becomes very exciting, to the point where once you own that understanding, and you come to higher and higher understandings of love and what it really is and how it actually works in your life, it's something that you would want to shout about, and tell the whole effing world. Excuse my language. So that's cool. You might have a lot to express, and in so doing, that makes you very attractive to others, because they start seeing you as the guru. Like, wow, woo, Aquarius, like, where do you figure all that stuff out? And then you realize, like, well, I had to go through all of this and this and this to figure it out. Thank you very much. And now I'm going to tell you the story about how it really works. Thank you very much. And so doing that, with that kind of like that amount of passion and energy and desire to move forward and take charge and live it by example, that's very exciting. Okay, especially if it has been decreed that this is how it's supposed to be. So what about making decisions? Let's have a look here. More wands. Okay, so maybe it's actually exciting for you. Maybe it's almost like, when you've discovered something, when archaeologists discover something, that first rush of excitement is fantastic. And then they realize, okay, we have a lot of work to do ahead of us. There's a lot of stuff to do, and we're going to get on and do it. So that brings out the next level of you, which is the very best of you, where you actually start living by example. Let's say, battling. This is kind of a card of sports and fun and excitement and thrills and battle and testing yourself against the elements, testing yourself against nature, and how do you respond accordingly? And it's almost like making the decision, like, I am going to throw myself into this. I am just going to dive right into this new level of awakening so that I can really, truly learn what needs to be learned about love and the healing power of love and how it actually works in my life, Aquarius, and so that it can be like propagated throughout the world accordingly. Thank you very much. So that is your permission to go for it, literally like an athlete. Okay, just literally going for it, directing all your passions to this cause, almost like making it your humanitarian cause to express the healing power of love once you learn it, even if you have to do it incrementally. Sometimes people teach what they learn. You know, that's what some people do. And you can do it incrementally. In other words, you don't necessarily have to go through a 4-year program to become certified as being someone who understands love. You can understand incrementally and teach what you learn incrementally. And that's very exciting. You can give yourself permission to do that. And that just feeds the fire because it makes you more encouraged and confident about going to the next step, the next level. Because it takes a tremendous amount of courage to love yourself first. Okay? A lot of people don't get that, but it's true. So anyway, making these decisions. Okay. Well, with the Eight of Cups here, it means for me, as your reader, it feels like, my gosh, making these decisions and the way we've just talked about here means actually having to walk away from really old, let's say, redundant patterns that you may have really held dear, like codes of behavior, codes of thought, ways of living, passions, desires, commitments to missions and visions of things that you might have built for yourself or have been living in others through like a humanitarian type of structure or an organization or a group. And you've outgrown the group. You've just outgrown it and you've become a guru yourself in your own way. Okay, I don't want to overstate it, but it's almost like that's what I feel here. It's the excitement of realizing that you are no longer the student. You are the teacher. And you're coming into your own, and you will grow and grow and grow and grow with this energy because there is so much room for growth here. In other words, it's actually exciting to not know everything because it means that the journey unfolds, and the more you learn, the more you can teach. And the more you teach, the more qualified you become, and the more satisfying it becomes. However, it's almost like there is a sacrifice. There is a very, very, very big, deep sacrifice in having to walk away from, let's say, ways of being that you really, really, really love. And so be it. Because there's this awakening. Just pretend like this little staff here. Pretend that's another wand. Okay? Realizing that there's a whole new mission and a vision ahead for you. And yes, you might be going only under the moonlight. There might be not a lot of guidance here. So you're having to trust deeply with the intuition, which might feel very contradictory for you, considering you normally like to do everything through the logical mind. Now having to trust the gut, trust the heart, trust in the love. Shoo! So yeah, this could be a great sacrifice for you. Where does that take us? Okay. Freedom. Release. It gives you redemption. It's like you giving yourself permission to have a complete reboot in life where, wow, whatever it was that was holding you back, that would have been like perhaps a sentence or a life chapter that is now lived and obsolete. And by liberating yourself from the things that you perhaps really, really loved and cherished for so, so long, like people that you might have called your family, people that you might have loved, boyfriends, girlfriends, whatever it is, teammates, group mates, all of that stuff of the Aquarian world, maybe leaving big chunks of it behind to step into the new level of Aquarius. But it's very, very liberating here. With the Judgment card, it's just like, wow, I had no idea. By choosing that liberty, allowing that justice to unfold that you deserve, knowing that you're going to learn so much and gain so much and grow in so much in strength by making the decisions to do so, which would include sacrifice. Okay, perhaps deep sacrifice, but that's okay. It's okay. It might be the most loving thing to do for yourself and for others right now. So in the thick of battle here, as you're going through like your workout, what you do to bring up your, let's say, spiritual strength, your passion to the maximum level. It's almost like being in the gym and working it out and building it up your strengths. You're always facing into, well, what happens if this doesn't work? Oh no. Oh, what happens if it does work? Okay, well, if it does work, let's say it does work, it brings things into balance in ways that are very tangible in terms of evidence in your life. Like you can really feel it, you can quantify it. Okay, with the Six of Pentacles here, it can also be the realization that, like, how it's so easy to slip out of balance when you don't love yourself first, when you don't allow, let's say, the healing power of love to flow in and through your life. It's a very, very delicate thing where it's a clear understanding, like, oh my gosh, I read it in the books, and I was taught it in the classes, and I learned it through my life and experiences in college and school and love life and relationships, like, these karmic laws, these laws of the universe, love and be loved, or the laws of attraction, and you receive what you put out, and you only get what you give, and all of that kind of stuff. It's true. The realization, like, oh my gosh, it is true. Wow, the giving and the getting. Okay, you get what you give. That kind of simple laws of attraction, and it happens by activating the laws of attraction. Okay, so, and it becomes evidential. So where does that take us? Mastery. Okay, but not like egoic mastery, like, thumping your chest type of mastery, Aquarius. It's more serene. It's the Queen of Wands here. It's that gentler, more feminine type of energy where there is complete dignity and sovereignty and ownership. But it's, again, more wands here. You see all these wands? It's owning it. It's like really owning it. It doesn't matter if you're naive and innocent coming into this month in the beginning, because by the end of the month, you come to a realization that there is so much to learn, and there is so much joy and fun and excitement to learn and grow at this time period, and that you can teach others as you go along, okay? In your day-to-day waking life. Doesn't mean you have to be a yoga teacher. It just means you can understand the concepts that we're talking about and then start to live by example. That's all we're suggesting here. And when you do that, you really, really shine. The Queen of Wands really shines, and she's not ashamed of being this shiny and wonderful and delicious. She is very inspiring for other people, and she has no problems about getting down there, getting her hands in the dirt with others, to share it all and show others by example. Like, this is how you do it, people. This is how you do it. It's simple. Let me show you. Watch this. And you dive in there with them, and they think, wow, thank you so, so much. We love you. You're awesome. You're this sort of royalty, and yet you're hanging out with us, the regular people. And you go, Aquarius, you say, "Huh, I'm just like one of you guys. I always was, always will be. I'm just being my new shiny, brighter self. Thank you very much." And then they go, wow, wow. Thank you, Aquarius. All the best. Have a super month. Bye-bye.